Hello and hello and welcome to a new video. Instead of a regular playthrough of Chernobylite, I think I might check out the extra thing. Wait. This one, tour around the zone. I think we'll do that this time. Welcome to the tour around the zone. This mode grants you the freedom to explore the exclusion zone without any missions or adversaries. The Chernobyl disaster stands as an extraordinary event in human history, imprinting a profound impact on the environment and global awareness. Throughout your journey, you'll cross paths with scientists who will impart authentic stories from the zone. Delve into reading notes to uncover additional facts and anecdotes about this remarkable place. Let's get it. Yeah. I love reading about history. Chernobyl was one of the things that I started reading about probably in my late teens, years ago. It's interesting to read, a bit sad. Alright, you're presently within the safe house of Chernobylite's protagonist. Head towards the binoculars by the window to choose the area of Chernobyl you'd like to explore. Alright, so this is all that this video upload is going to be, is just a, I'll call it like an educational thing here. There it is. Okay. Alright, what should I check out? I think we can check out, let's go to Pripyat Central. If I could just start at the top, maybe. Red Forest. A port. No, I'm just gonna skip around. Yes. It's my first time checking out this. I hope everybody's doing good, doing well, staying healthy. Come on to load. Oh, here we go. And we are at let's take it forever. Here we are. Feel free to explore the entire area at your leisure, both on the radar screen in the upper part and on the map. You'll notice markers indicating the locations of both scientists and notes. Seek them out to uncover more about the history of the Chernobyl disaster. Take your time to immerse yourself in the zone's atmosphere and uncover its secrets. Best of luck, Stalker. Those of you that don't know, that's what they refer to those that like to go into Chernobyl. They are called stalkers. I remember this in one of the Call of Duty games, I believe. At least an area like this.
The Ferris wheel is an abandoned amusement park ride located in the heart of the ghost town of Pripyat. It is also an iconic symbol of the city. It's a popular tourist attraction, Along with other rides, it remains in its original location, overgrown with vegetation and slowly turning to rust. The grand opening was scheduled to take place on May 1st, 1986.
The disaster happened in April 1986.
The Ferris wheel was never used, as the disaster occurred just days before the city was set to officially open the amusement park. It's 24 meters tall and would complete a full rotation in 5 minutes. It was intended as entertainment for children and to provide a view of the city. The amusement park grounds served as a landing pad for helicopters taking part in the liquidation. The machines were routinely cleaned and the radionuclides washed into the soil. While areas covered in concrete are relatively safe, radiation levels in places where moss is growing reach up to 25,000 microsievert per hour, some of the highest in all of Pripyat.
Interesting. Neat. I think this would be good for anybody that's studying about Chernobyl, actually. I'm just glad I can roam freely without worrying about monsters or soldiers. I need to continue that. If I remember last, I was taken into a prison camp. Another location.
The amusement park was planned to be a recreational spot for residents of the city and surrounding areas. It was intended as a fun place for children and families and featured a number of attractions, including a Ferris wheel, swings, and a carousel. However, due to radioactive contamination following the disaster, the park was never opened to the public and remained abandoned for years. Some of its attractions are still standing, though they are severely deteriorated and contaminated with radioactive materials. There were at least 2 illegal attempts by stalkers to revive the Ferris wheel. In response, Ukrainian authorities welded various metal components of the Ferris wheel together, so it could not be powered up again. It was a serious safety concern. Hopefully no one will try something so reckless again.
We already got the answer on that one. Leave. Yeah, back when I was in school, my favorite subject was history. And music whenever I could have it. And art. Let's see, I don't see anybody else. Pretty sure it don't matter where I go. Oh, there we go. Oops, wrong button.
The Palace of Culture Energetic was the cultural center of Pripyat. It was built in the 1970s and is one of the largest structures in the city. It was a locus of cultural, educational, and sporting events. After the Chernobyl disaster, the building was abandoned along with the rest of the city, but its ruin remains there to this day.
Energetic was a play on words referencing both the power plant worker and the positive energy of the Pripyat community.
In 1988, the Soviet Union had over 137,000 palaces of culture. They were large community centers established during the Soviet era. The Palace of Culture Energetic hosted discos every weekend. These events were named Edison II after the electronic music equipment. They were very popular among the residents of Pripyat. After the disaster, the Energetic was used as a technical building for the liquidators.
Ever read what happened to the liquidators? It's sad. I don't know where I'm going. Can't get through. Oops. Oh, this guy down here. Wait, no, I just talked to him, didn't I?
The Palacia Hotel was built
Oh,
in
no.
the 1970s to accommodate party officials and guests visiting the nuclear power plant. After the Chernobyl disaster, Pripyat was evacuated and the hotel abandoned. Today, the Palacia Hotel is one of many abandoned structures in the exclusion zone and a popular destination for tourists exploring this ghost town. The hotel was used as headquarters for the liquidators and their operations. Spotters used the roof to coordinate helicopters dumping sand and boric acid and directed machines into the exposed reactor core. Rumor has it that Gorbachev stayed at the hotel once when he came to check on the progress of the liquidation. The hotel is located on Lenin Square and used to be part of a complex that included the hotel, the Palace of Culture Energetic, a department store, and a diner. There were also plans for a cafe on the top floor of the hotel, but it never opened. The Palacia is where Valery Legasov, a scientist renowned for his portrayal in the HBO series, stayed during his first days on site after the Chernobyl disaster.
Alright, very well. Oh, I just noticed that back there, that painting. Oh gosh. Okay. I want to jump down, but I already know that the character would die. No, let's go back down. Okay, let's find somewhere else to go check out. Oh, it's saving. I can't pull up my map. It's like someone's mowing their lawn right now. Oh. Oh, there was the map. Okay. Where else can I go? There. There. So we'll head down this street. Other game, somewhat relatable to a historical event I'm thinking of checking out is a Plague Tale. Where am I going? Okay, there's more to check out down here. You read the symptoms of plague. Read the symptoms of radiation sickness. There's a guy. Don't know where I'm going.
Did you know that more than 600,000 people were involved in the liquidation effort in the aftermath of the Chernobyl disaster?
Yes.
An extensive cleanup operation was carried out to control the release of radioactive materials and contain the spread of radioactive contamination. The effort involved hundreds of thousands of workers, referred to as liquidators, who cleaned up the area around the damaged reactor. They also built a sarcophagus around the reactor to contain the remaining radioactive materials.
Imagine being near what they call the elephant's foot, which I guess I should have checked to see if we could check that out.
Removing debris and radioactive material. This involved cleaning up the area around the damaged reactor and decontaminating buildings, roads, and other structures. The liquidators were also involved in the construction of a massive concrete sarcophagus designed to contain the remaining radioactive materials. They worked to decontaminate the evacuated areas around the power plant and to make them safe for resettlement. During a later stage, liquidators decommissioned the damaged reactor, including the removal of damaged fuel rods and the sealing of the reactor core. They continued to be involved in monitoring and maintaining the containment of radioactive materials at the site. This included the sarcophagus and the spent fuel storage facilities. The liquidators also assisted in the evacuation of over 100,000 people from the surrounding area and the relocation of affected populations. The over 600,000 liquidators faced significant health risks due to exposure to high levels of radiation. Many of them have since suffered from a range of health problems, including increased rates of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and other illnesses. In addition, many have also reported mental health problems, such as anxiety and depression. The government of the Soviet Union provided some compensation and medical support to the liquidators. However, the exact extent of the health impacts and the number of deaths related to the disaster is still unclear. The Chernobyl disaster's impact on the health of the liquidators continues to be a source of concern and the subject of ongoing study.
I don't know where I'm going. I was like, there's way more that way. Keep going this way. And right down... was it that way? Yeah, it was that way. Just jump all the way there. I keep pushing our button. Here we are. I should have selected to see the elephants, but I don't think it would let us get in there actually. Let's see if I can get back to the base. Let's see if I can find it. Alright, let's see if I can go to the nuclear site. Let's see. Forest, the port. Small village. People actually still live in that village. I think it's that village. I was already there. I just want to see the facility. Alright, well, we're not going to get to see the facility. Can't see this. Yes. There we are. The cooling towers. Just kind of like a little chill recording without having to worry about being shot at or avoiding monsters that don't even take gun damage. I don't see anybody standing around here. Oh, there's one. Jim.
These gigantic structures are the cooling towers for reactors 5 and 6 at the Chernobyl NPP. They were built as part of a planned expansion of the facility. Construction of these reactors began in the early 1980s, but was halted following the explosion and subsequent disaster at Reactor 4 in 1986. Cooling towers are commonly used in thermal and nuclear power plants to cool large amounts of water using atmospheric airflow. Water used to reduce heat generated by the nuclear reaction must be cooled to prevent the fuel from overheating and causing a meltdown. Coolant water is pumped through the reactor to a heat exchanger, where the heat is transferred to a separate water circuit flowing to the cooling tower. The hot water is sprayed into the tower and exposed to the air, which cools the water through evaporation. Cooled water is then reused in the heat exchanger, repeating the process, while warm air from the cooling tower is released into the atmosphere. The towers are 150 meters tall and 126 meters in diameter. They're made of reinforced concrete. Unit 5 and its tower were still under construction in 1986 when the disaster occurred, halting all work. priorities later shifted to constructing the shelter for the destroyed Unit 4, and the new reactors and towers were abandoned. Nowadays, the Chernobyl towers and their artificial islands surrounded by a channel are a popular tourist attraction. On the 30th anniversary of the disaster, an Australian artist painted a mural inside the 110-meter tower, using a 1986 photograph by photojournalist Igor Kostin.
Oh, I wonder if we can see it. And here's the unfinished one. Imagine how much radiation there is in real life. And this whole vicinity. Actually, all of it. I see a train. Nobody over there, though. Just take it forever. Let's run. Oh. There goes that lawnmower again. Where am I going? Oh, there's more stuff that way. Okay. So cooling towers. How about we go elsewhere now? Let's check out one more area. Alright. Another one I remember being mentioned in history happens to be mention of I think it was the kindergarten or school number 3. We'll check out this one, yes. This would be good for anybody that's studying the subject. Reading books would have a lot more information though. I know a lot of people choose to check online instead. It's quicker, easier, which I understand. I'm not sure how schools function nowadays. Back when I was in school, most of it was relied on books in the library. And of course your usual class textbooks. First up, I really wish this would list the locations. It's gotta be an apartment. Let's see. Which way do I want to go? Alright, this one's highlighted. Let me check that out. Have I ever watched the movie Chernobyl Diaries? For some reason I first watched it, I was kind of thinking maybe there would be a lot more of the, monsters. Wait a minute. Oh, this stuff. Can I do that now? I can't. Oh yeah, I'm just visiting. In the movie Chernobyl Diaries, I was thinking that it would show more of the mutations. Actually, I didn't think any of this would be included on the tour thing. I'm stuck. Okay. Can you imagine the aftermath of all this? Goodness. I think I know where to avoid when I play the actual game itself. It's supposed to be a tour. I have not seen one scientist. Oh wait, there's one.
The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, blazing like a torch, and it fell on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is Wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from the water, because it had been made bitter. This is a quote from the Bible, Revelation 8:10-12. The angel in the book of Revelations predicted that the arrival of a giant star called Wormwood would bring about doomsday. Interestingly, the plant known as wormwood, Latin name, Artemisia absinthium, is related to common mugwort, commonly known as black mugwort. In a free translation, Chernobyl means black wormwood.
Ooh,
it's also the name of the town that housed the power plant. An ominous coincidence, isn't it?
I don't trust that stuff. Alright, I'm about to go ahead and end this. Because here in a bit we are going to hear the neighborhood kids outside playing, and they tend to be a bit loud. And I hope that anybody watching this thought some of these little facts were interesting. I don't trust all this. I really, really don't. I should pay attention on my map where this was. Oh, there's a guy. I'll talk to him first and then I'm gonna go ahead and end it.
School number 3 is one of 5 secondary schools in Pripyat, located on Sportivnaya Street next to the indoor swimming pool.
The school had modern amenities such as music and sports facilities. Although abandoned, the building remains in relatively good condition. It sustained less water damage than other schools in the city. The wooden window frames are still in place, but the cast iron radiators are gone. With its central location and variety of spaces, this school is a fascinating place to visit and a reminder of the hundreds of children who once attended it. It's notable for its collection of gas masks, which have since been scattered on the floor by looters scavenging silver from the filters. The Soviet-made child-sized masks were meant to protect against nuclear, biological, and chemical NBC attacks and were kept on site during the Cold War.
You ever see pictures of the ones that were made by, I think it was Disney years ago, look like Mickey Mouse?
It was very modern by Soviet standards of the time. The building was supposedly designed by Kiev Scientific Research Institute of Electrotechnical Physics, like many other schools in the Soviet Union. According to the historical records, the classes were not immediately canceled when the news broke. The children received some iodine pills and were allowed to go home a little early. That was it.
Which is bad. Let's cut through here though. What? By 1986, Pripyat was not only the youngest city in Ukraine, but also had the highest number of children. More than 15,000 out of a total population of 50,000. To meet educational requirements, the city had 15 kindergartens and 5 schools, as well as a vocational and children's art school. Wow. I didn't know there was little notes in here. Wonder how many I've missed. I go through here. Yeah. It's like a small gym. Oh.
Indoctrination was a crucial element of education in the Soviet system. From a young age, children were taught about the forefathers of communism, the leading role of the party, and the foundations of socialist society. Teachers instilled the values of total submission of the individual and the collectivization of action. Such classes were ubiquitous in every republic of the Soviet Union, as well as Eastern Bloc countries like East Germany and Poland. Music lessons played an important role in youth education. Talented children were enrolled in school bands and choirs, which took part in national competitions.
I wish art was still important in schools. So I heard the school I used to go to kind of cancel that out. So at least I got to experience it.
Meetings, concerts, and art presentations, and every other aspect of the school's cultural life took place here. In fact, various groups held their meetings and rehearsals here every day. The grand piano on the stage was used for accompaniment. This is a standard setup for every school in Pripyat. Mathematics was the foundation upon which the Soviet Union's technical development was built. As early as primary school, the brightest pupils, under the vigilant eye of their teachers, advanced their skills in science. The best of them attended secondary schools, and later went on to renowned universities to become scientists or engineers. But none of this stopped the Soviet Union from building a malfunctioning nuclear reactor. The faulty design they used was intended for the production of weapons of mass destruction, not for civilian applications, by the way.
Imagine how eerie Pripyat, Chernobyl would be at night. It's saved again. keep saying that'll be it, and then I go and start looking around again. It's over here. Oh. Oh, it's a lot to read. 1 week after the accident, 3 checkpoints were established on roads leading to Kiev, and every arriving car and truck was checked. The Ministry of Health ordered that all food entering the city be screened before being sold. And city officials set up labs in the dairies. To ensure the safety of the food supply, officials ordered vegetables from comparatively uncontaminated areas, and used food stocks from before the accident when possible. They also monitored the city's drinking water, shut down open-air markets, and established radiation labs and shops. Street cleaners washed the streets daily to remove radioactive dust, and high school students were conscripted to rake up and remove fallen leaves using dump trucks. Interesting. What's this? Oh, it's a gym. And this was the swimming pool that was mentioned. Okay.
The Azure Swimming Pool is an iconic indoor pool located at 18 Sportovnia Street in Pripyat's 3rd microdistrict. The pool was built in the 1970s and remained open until 12 years after the Chernobyl disaster of 1986. During that time, the pool was primarily used by the liquidators. In spite of the disaster, the pool was one of the best maintained places in Pripyat. Since its closing in 1998, the pool and the nearby indoor basketball court have been left to deteriorate and are now abandoned. Before the accident at the power plant, Pripyat was a rapidly growing city. The Soviet government placed a strong emphasis on sports and physical fitness. As a result, many sports complexes, clubs, and swimming pools were constructed. One of the most notable was the Azure Indoor Sports Complex. It featured a pool with 5 swimming lanes and 2 diving platforms, as well as a gym and basketball court. It was opened in 1970 and regularly hosted swimming competitions. It was located in a relatively safe area and was used by employees of the Exclusion Zone Administration and liquidators. The pool was closed in 1998 due to the shutdown of the 3rd reactor, which meant hot water was no longer supplied to the city. Today, like every other structure in the exclusion zone, it is abandoned. The clock above the pool still displays the approximate time of the accident.
I can't look.
Electricity and water were cut off to most buildings in the city, but were later restored in facilities where government officials were working, including Lazarnik. On one of the walls, the word rain is written in graffiti.
Yeah, right behind him. Where's the clock? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I just want to do this. I already hear the kids outside, so hopefully this is educational for anybody. Oh, there they go. Numerous snake species inhabit the region around the disaster site. Among them are the European adder, Vipera berus, the common garter snake, and the grass snake. It's not uncommon to come across entire colonies with snakes in the area. Interestingly, Japanese researchers have employed rat snakes with fitted tracking devices and decimeters to measure radiation levels in the vicinity. I remember that from Fukushima there. I remember watching that on the news, happening live. which was another big nuclear disaster. I'm sure a lot of you might remember it, unless you're, you know, was younger or not born yet. But that'll do for now. I might do another upload later or sometime tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Like I said, hopefully anybody found this educational or interesting at least. More so if you're into history. Please like, subscribe, comment, share it. I'll see y'all next time.